this, because they have learned to have some kind of fear to express their opinion, their view, which you don't have. Every side of the medal has one positive, one negative. Sometimes the drive result can result in some form of aggressiveness, of arrogance, which sometimes is seen by students of AUK, because sometimes it's difficult to know where is the limit to where we should push to get the results. I hope you understand this positively, what I wanted to say. So when giving I'll bring an example. A few years ago we had an internee in AUK, or from AUK, in our department. And she had a lot of ideas, but the way she presented to us made a lot of people in our department defensive. Like, why don't you try this, not that? We in AUK, we would do this way. And maybe we had tried it 6 months ago, but she didn't ask us whether we have tried that method.
That's it.
Well, about weaknesses or strengths, I'll just probably work in both ways. A lot of people, they just start working something and then actually they don't see immediate result, and they start like, okay, they basically back off. They don't want to go on. That's one of the weaknesses that I see a lot of people. They basically work on something, the project, they put a lot of effort to it, but when it comes to hit the ball, and then you step back and then you don't really go on. And that's, I mean, a lot of people, a weakness would be not being fully committed to the project. One of the things is like we work out there, and we are from AUK, and we are presented to all these newly established theories about management, business, and all that. You go out there and you try to present, but people start to get defensive a lot. That's one thing, and then regardless people get defensive, I always encourage people, like, they go on and talk about that, and just find a way to communicate that in a way that actually the person won't be offended, but they actually can understand and work together in that. Well, myself, I started at the bank as a co-op. That's how I actually started there, and then go on, and I'm working in the banking financial institution, and I go to a different degree now. It's find a way. You have the opportunity to go through co-op. That's the best opportunity that you actually get, and the AUK is really privileged to have that through. And once you use that, you have that twice in a 4 year. If you actually use that in a wise way, or try to find an institution or industry that you fit in, I'm encouraged to do that. I mean, try to think in advance, be proactive rather than be reactive to things. So just a few things that you just put for thought.
Yes. I would start with the strengths definitely. You can notice from the interview an AUK student. I know that it is because of the professors and because of the lectures we had here. You know how to present or to appear in an interview, meaning you know the dressing codes, and you're lucky for this. Why am I saying that? Sometimes the students from the University of Pristina, maybe they are more qualified sometimes, but the first impression we get, because they do not have such a lectures in university to get to know how you need to get dressed, what you should say in an interview in order to impress the interview panel. And also many other strengths which are, because of the question, I would not like to go through. I would stick to the weaknesses. Many times, I would say for myself, in order for you to understand. Many times I had difficulties, meaning how they perceive, how the pro-credit perceive me initially. The AUK students are really self-confident, meaning sometimes I even had problems because, or we are more self-confident than sometimes we should be. we usually think that we are the best. We usually want to get promoted very fast because of the university and this stuff. So these are the problems. Sometimes I get these comments from in the beginning when I started to work. I thought that my ideas are the best. I can contribute with what I have learned in UK. Meaning that I have changed from the time that I was employed. Not for the bad, but I tried to see things in a more general way, not because this self-confidence sometimes it's not needed when it is overused, for example.
Okay. I agree with the opinions of my colleagues. So since I'm in a panel of interviewees, I have a chance to compare students from different universities. And as a main strength, as I said, you have very good or excellent presentation skills, communication skills, and team building. Team building in banking is very important since departments are correlated with each other, and you have worked with all the time. You work in groups, and you have this very good feeling that helps you, and is seen as strength. Also, in the interviews, as my colleague said, you present yourself very good. But when you apply for a position, try to read as much as you can for that positions. Like what are the requirements, the main duties, everything, as much as you can prepare yourself. And yes, I would like also to encourage some of you to take the lower positions. When you see a job vacancy as a cashier or customer service, some of us, even I, we ignore it because you think it's too low for you, but it's not. You can show yourselves, you have the potential and the skills, and if that organization is growing like Bogota, we have enough positions to put you in higher levels. But it's better if you go from down to up. It's much harder if you go straight to the higher position, and now you don't know the problems what are happening down, and everything is happening in the lower levels. I would like also to add more about the background. It's good to have more like a financial background, like more about accounting, finance, banking, when you apply for the positions in banking. Okay.
I would like just to add something because I forgot to mention other weakness of us UK students. As you know, the work in the bank includes a lot of paperwork, meaning the filing and everything. So when we were required to file something or to photocopy something, we sometimes felt offended. How comes the manager asked that for us? Believe me or not, I still have a lot of paperwork and I should do it myself. We should not get offended because it is definitely better to start from these files, to start to know from the very basic in order to get to know the harder words as well.
Okay. I'm Ermal, I'm a junior. My major is law management and economics. Since co-ops are really helpful for students, especially in banks, since you firstly know about the organizational behavior, I just want to know from the banks, BPB and BKT, how many positions do they offer to the students during the year? Because we hear a lot from proprietors and Wi-Fi's, but from them, like, it's not too much, so maybe that would be helpful to know.